All right, everybody, peace. Welcome back to the channel. KUT Productionz here. This is another, I guess, alleged hip-hop birthday album review. And there's just another one of those classic albums that I grew up on. Had the cassette tape, had my own tape. I think I bought this one. No, I made probably with my brothers again, but I was right there. We all shared tapes, and this is how we did it. It was Public Enemy, man. 1988 release. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. Just one of those legendary, conscious, classic albums, banging from beginning to end. I mean, review, Source Magazine. Oh, in my last video, I think I said the Source came out in 1990, but the Source Magazine came out in 1988, actually. I'm not sure where they reviewed this album, even if they were doing reviews with the 5 mics or with the mic scale yet. But this album, super duper impact. I mean, Public Enemy was on top of the world, dropping that conscious hip hop. I mean, hip hop with meaning. Everybody was on it. That was the vibe back then. It was, like I said, gangster music was around, but by and large, most groups was more like party, conscious, with a little bit of sprinkle of gangster and like a little street realism, street gangster talk, a little bit of that splashed in there. But Public Enemy was definitely at the forefront of educating people, dropping knowledge. They had Farrakhan in their music talking, Khalid Muhammad talking. You had Chuck D, Flavor Flav, Terminator X, the S1Ws, and Professor Griff, who is the Minister of Information, who is online these days. He has a YouTube channel. He talks about those days. He talks about other stuff. He got a lot going on. And Public Enemy went through some trials and tribulations, man. They had a split. I think Professor Griff was kicked out of the group. He made some remarks that they considered anti-Semitic at the time. Chuck D sided with the people, so they had a little split there. But they all did come back together, kind of, sort of, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But it's still a little weird energy here and there. Griff will call them out when they're doing some stuff. Like right now, Chuck D's not the, I don't know, he don't seem like the revolutionary Chuck D that we grew up on. He's a little more conservative these days, a little different views. He says some things that people be like, what? You're Chuck D from Public Enemy. You're talking like that. So I don't know. It's just a little different now. But anyway, this album, man, is a great, great record. One of the greatest of all time. Definitely, when it comes down to hip-hop essential albums, this is one of them. That's what I'm covering here. These next few videos that's coming out, the 80s, man. 1988, 89. I think I said it in the last one about Big Daddy Kane. Is some of the greatest records ever was made in that era. The Bomb Squad, the production team that did this, Hank Shockley and Keith Shockley, they're the Bomb Squad. They did the phenomenal production, just next level sound, just putting everything together. It's just something you never heard before from Public Enemy. Just that hard, revolutionary sound. They weren't pulling no punches, and the beats were dope. I mean, it's samples of James Brown in there, Funky Drummer, a lot of other just samples in there. They just layered it. It's just super, super dope. The DJ Terminator X was nice. They had this security team called S1Ws. If you see any Public Enemy footage and you see these guys in camo holding Uzis up on the stage, doing these little routines with Professor Griff, he'll run up and he may do an air, like a spin kick or a roundhouse kick in the air. You know what I mean? They just, Public Enemy was all that, man, all that. Untouchable group, man. One of the greatest groups of all time. And that currently, I think Chuck and Flavor Flav are still out there. I think they're out touring right now. I think I saw them, where are they at? They were doing something just recently. I mean, they're out, they're active. But like I said, Chuck D, you know, people see him a little different now. I know I see him as like, yeah, he's a little different talk, man. A little different talk. He made a few statements over time that, you know, people were like, you know, it ain't the Chuck D of old. But nonetheless, they made this classic music. First album was Yo Bum Rush the Show. This is actually their second release right here. They dropped early. I think they dropped their No Bum Rush the Show was probably in 86 or 87. A couple years before this, or if not 1 year before this one right here took over. That single, Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos. The infamous words, I got a letter from the government the other day. I opened and read it. It said they were suckers. So that was the opening line to that classic single that they had. Don't Believe the Hype on this album. Bring the Noise. And even the intro to the album, Countdown to Armageddon, it's like a live, I think it's like a live audio from one of their shows. They got the air raid sirens going. Just classic, just legendary. And Chuck D's vocals, man, that voice just penetrated. It hit the speakers. It hit you. It just came through like, yo, this is an MC right here. This is an artist, MC, rapper, all that, and political and smart. Then you have Professor Griff doing a lot of the research for the songs they were going to do. Harry Allen, I mean, they just dope, man. One of the legendary top groups of all time. Public Enemy. Then they on that same album, the B side, they call it the black side. They had the silver side, they had the black side. Started that off with Show 'Em What You Got. A lot of people will recognize, they hear Show 'Em What You Got in these era, this generation. Some people. Jay-Z had sampled those horns. I think was it a song with Rihanna? I forget what song it was, but he definitely reused those horns, which were a sample. Then She Watched Channel Zero, kicked off that Night of Living Bassheads, talking about the drug pandemic. Man, just so many. Rebel Without a Pause, Cold Lampin', Louder Than a Bomb. I mean, this album is full of just hit records, just full of hits. And the thing is, like, it's definitely a platinum. It's a platinum album. I think it came out the gate doing its thing hardcore, went crazy in those days. It was like, we got like 88, it kicked off, then 89, the movie Spike Lee did, with the Malcolm X, man, it was one of the movies where he used Fight the Power. Fight the Power's in between this, because it's not on this album. I don't think Fight the Power's on here, but it came up, I think, as a single on the soundtrack for one of Spike Lee movies. Maybe Do the Right Thing. Yeah, Do the Right Thing. Yeah, Do the Right Thing had Fight the Power, which boosted this album and boosted that single and boosted everything up, if I'm not mistaken. This album didn't have that on it. That was in between. I think this album came out too soon, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Public Enemy, man. Just 1988, man. 88. Go back. Put in a search if you're new to hip hop, or if you ain't familiar, if you ain't ever go back that deep, go do a search on 88, 89 albums and see what came out. These are essential records that kind of set the stage for a lot of stuff, because NWA actually dropped in 88 also, and they kind of brought in heavy gangster talk, like compared to what was going on, but they had a little consciousness, but it was more LA street, more gang, a little more violent, a little more cussing. These records back then they had very little cussing, but Eazy-E was the first album I ever had, or tape that I bought, that had a lot of cussing. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna turn this down. My mom ain't gonna want to hear this. I had to keep the radio at a minimum. Whereas before, you could just play it up, wasn't small little cuss words here and there, but that whole era wasn't taking place, like prior to 88, I think. Because 89, 90s when NWA and the Eazy and them really kicked it up, and it just went crazy. It started to change. This whole conspiracy talk about cancellation of groups. Like, it seemed how it was conscious, had knowledge, telling the people something, telling the kids something, telling the youth something, and then the gangster kind of took over, gangster rap, whatever you want to call it, took over. So this was that time period where that shift started to happen. But yeah, man, just Public Enemy, man. Don't sleep on Public Enemy. But this is KUT Productions. This is the album for the day. I'm gonna hit y'all with some more of these. Stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel. Be back with more. All right, y'all. Peace.